Hello and welcome to my Xbox and Me, episode 423. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Paul Despawn. Despawn, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Not had to fight any snakes, which is nice.
No, I'd say, great. Yeah.
Don't get the reference. Completely over my head.
See, Chris is the opposite of Matt. Chris don't listen to this show.
No,
Chris don't care about this show. Chris ain't listening to find out what gets said. No.
For
And
all
I know,
go.
and the
You
return
guys
of
could have
Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank
You
you.
guys could have spent a whole episode talking shit about me. and I
Oh,
would
we
never
did.
know
We
about
did.
Yeah,
That's good.
it was close. It was close.
Well
It was
deserved. Well
Chris,
deserved.
you've been gone for like this might be. I'm not gonna lie. This might be the longest period of time we've not spoken for since we've met.
Yeah, I mean definitely.
You've been
It's
to
like
Albania again before, right? Sorry, words. You've been to Albania since I've known you.
No.
No, this is the first time.
Yeah, I haven't been to Albania in 11 years.
Ah,
Damn.
Yeah.
so this has been the longest time we haven't spoke to each other.
Yeah.
I miss you so much, Chris.
Yeah.
I miss you.
You know how they say separation makes like you grow fonder of another person?
It's the
Mhm.
opposite for
true.
you.
Not
It's the
true.
opposite for you. It's the opposite. You're just like,
fixed
do I
vibe.
really?
Can I go back to
What I
Albania
love-
now?
Can I be honest? Do you know what I love the most is the fact that Chris. So we're doing the podcast on Sunday. We're doing it at 12 o'clock our time. I love the fact that Chris was just like, "You've got no chance on God's given earth that I'm getting up in the mornings anymore. I'm done. Look, I've had lay-ins for a month. I have not had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to a podcast in 3 weeks. We're not doing that no more, boys. I hope
you-
you
okay,
goddamn
you wanna know why?
that
You
ain't-
wanna-
no,
you wanna know
wait. I'm on your side though. I'm
Wait,
on
wait,
your
wait.
side.
I just,
There's
Oh, yeah,
no
100%.
way.
explain the thought process behind it. Because Albania is an hour, so the time difference. So when it's 5 o'clock for you guys in Albania, it's 6 o'clock. It's a 6 hour difference from where I am right now,
Okay.
right? So I just finally got accustomed to like American time.
Yeah.
I'm like, all
The
the way
last thing you
back,
were-
like go back to 5 hours.
No,
Like,
yeah,
that's the
no.
last thing I want right now. You know?
Fair.
Bro, we're with you. We 100% agree, but I just thought it was so hilarious. Of this, like, yeah, but can we record at 12? And me and Deeks were just like, yeah, of
Yeah,
course. And then
that's fine,
I'm
yeah.
like sitting there going, there's no way he wants to be waking up at those times no more. He's done with that shit. That's done. That's out the window.
Give me a
Um,
few weeks to fuck up my sleep schedule.
I was gonna say,
man.
wait
Yeah.
until Starfield comes out. You fuck up your sleep schedule. Boom,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Honkai Star Rail. You'd be fine.
Exactly. If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me and all podcast services. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer. You can also find us on all podcast services. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Patreon producer this month, of course, as always, the one and only Aaron Guard. We do appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Gamescom. I've been super busy this week, boys, so I am kind of out of the loop in a way when it comes to all things Gamescom. I literally, just before the show, watched about half of what was shown Xbox-related stuff, which pretty much shows me how much Jeff Keighley talks, because I did that in half an hour. I got through literally all of the Xbox announcements. I'm like, there's a lot of padding in these shows, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through each of the announcements. Do you want to do what we played first, or do you want to do topic of the show first? Usually we do topic of the show, but I have one game that's very important for us to talk about.
Let's do it.
So, have you guys played anything of worthy of speaking about?
So I jumped into Bramble, the Mountain King. I think it's something that people have been
okay.
talking about a lot.
Mm.
Boy, is that game dark. Like, imagine Limbo made by Guillermo del Toro. It is messed up. It's great. It's like a kind of like 2.5 like 3D platformer kind of thing. But yeah, it's all based around like witches and trolls and things like that. But yeah, it gets very dark very quickly. But it is fun. It's an interesting story. I'm about, I want to say 3 hours into it, so I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through. But yeah, it's definitely one worth playing. It's on Game Pass, so and cloud as well, which is how I've been playing it.
How's that been?
Perfect. Like, well, I mean, I will be honest. I'm playing it cloud through my Xbox. I was gonna say from our PlayStation. I was like, no.
Things have changed since you've been gone, Crash. We
I
now do
know.
cloud through PlayStation.
No, so I've been playing it through the Xbox. Cause I figure like I'll jump in. It's on cloud. I don't have to download it. If I don't like it, I'm not having to uninstall anything. But yeah, it's because I will say that I've got a really good internet connection. I think I'm on 500 meg fiber.
Okay,
So yeah, so it's not like I'm going to be suffering from any latency or anything. That's going to be a problem on my network. But yeah, it generally feels like I'm playing it natively, like I had actually downloaded it. And yeah, graphically great. Like I say, when you die, you really die. It is dark. But yeah, no, definitely worth checking out. Jump in. I think how long to beat has it at like 4.5, 5 hours for completionists.
Oh,
So relatively
music
short.
to my ears. Music to my ears.
So,
Smaller
yeah.
games.
I will put it out there. Probably wouldn't play it on stream. There is lots of trigger warnings in this game.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's definitely one worth like adding to the collection. Just say you've played it.
Cool.
But yeah,
Alright.
that's pretty much me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Crash, how long, when did you get back?
I got back 14th, the 17th. 17th. So for like 10
Oh, a
days.
while then. Okay. You've been back a while
Yeah,
then.
yeah, I've been back.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Days this week have been weird. So, to go on a little tangent, Haley's birthday, right? So this girl's had it's Haley's 30th. If those who don't know, Haley's my fiance. This girl's had a week of just us doing things. So her actual birthday, I took her to iFly, which is like indoor skydiving, and then Tuesday I took her to Matilda theatre show. Wednesday I took her to Harry Potter and Cursed Child theatre show. Thursday, nothing. Friday I was at UB doing the thing that we're gonna talk about, and then yesterday we were out drinking all week. So my week's just been filled with like doing nothing. So yeah, you being back, I've missed you, Crash. I just want someone to play games with. Please, can we just play games together? Please. No, yeah, Despawn's different. It's different, Despawn. It's different.
Wow.
It's different.
My schedule's kind of packed, you know. I came
oh.
back and I realized like I got stuff to do. So
I came back and realized you're a scrub.
You in.
But have you played anything this week?
I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate.
I still haven't started Baldur's Gate. God damn it! I've even bought Haley in for her birthday. I'm like, she said to me today, she's like, "Oh, should we play Baldur's Gate?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, maybe." Do you know what? I'm intimidated. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying what you've decided how big it is?
I am enjoying it a lot. I am playing with other people, so it's more so like when we can all get on the same schedule to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got you that game.
I know.
And this is how you treat me.
I still plan on playing it with you, Fix.
Oh, fuck you. I don't need you.
It's actually made me excited to play with you.
I've got Despawn now. I don't need you.
You're just like trying to play games with me, and now it's all over.
Yeah, no, you betrayed me. You betrayed me. Let me guess. Let me guess. You're playing with Ben.
I'm not going to answer that.
Anyway.
I feel that's a reductive statement.
Yeah, whatever.
How is Ben?
So, like, forget Ben. He's not been on this show for a long time. Get him out of here. So yeah, like I said, I did a stream for Ubisoft on Friday. The closed beta of Skull and Bones is now upon us. And so yeah, again, hashtag ad. There's your warning. Blah blah blah. I'm not getting into it. You all know Ubisoft. Blah blah blah. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I actually really had a really good time with it. I am very, 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 very surprised. By the way, I think I want a pizza bet. Just so everyone's aware. Pretty sure I want a pizza bet. My bet wasn't my bet with Matt. That there would no, but did we not agree that there would be some element of you being a person and being off the ship?
Yeah, but I think that was up for debate. What would count as a third-person action adventure? I don't know if he counted you just going and collecting treasure or walking through a town as third-person action adventure.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said third-person action adventure.
You sure?
And I don't remember if Matt ever said like if you're out of the ship at all, he'd agree to it. I don't remember the debate around that. So
I need someone to remember. I need someone like
somebody remembers.
Man. Someone needs to know.
Leave it in the comments.
If somebody remembers better in the chat, you know.
So, yeah, I wasn't excited. I'll keep it 100%. I was not excited to play this game. at all. I was very worried about the game as a whole. I wasn't the Black Flag fan, so I didn't come in with like this ship knowledge of this type of game, or like did I care about this or whatever. And I was just pleasantly surprised in how much, number one, how pretty it is. It is a very, very, very pretty game. And that took me back a little bit. I don't know why. Like, Ubisoft make pretty games. I don't think Far Cry is an ugly game. I don't think Assassin's Creed's an ugly game. And I think Water's obviously a huge part of gaming. I find we when we got good lighting, it was always, oh, look at the reflection on that puddle. Look at this. Look at that. So water always is like a reflection of if something's pretty as well, especially. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by its cutscenes and story instantly. I wasn't sure how they were gonna go into do you being, for all extensive purposes, you are the ship, right? Like that's the main thing of what you are. Obviously, there's a character there that you play as, but the ship is what is the main character of this game. And I wasn't sure how they were going to be able to, number one, make me care about a ship. How are you going to make me give a crap about a ship that I'm not into pirates, number one? So how are you going to make me care? And it does a really great job of starting you off in this little ringy-dingy tiny ship that's a pile of crap, and all you've got is this spear, and you're killing the shark, and that on its own feels like a magical moment for your character and your boat. And obviously you're building up and doing these contracts and things. And yeah, it's the progression of the game is actually, from what I played, and again, I only played about 3 hours, but that was what was very magical to me in a way of I've got this little crew of people that I've got to take care of, and I'm now building up to this bigger ship and this bigger ship and this bigger ship, and I'm earning respect on these different islands and things like that. I was just, I was not blown away, but it took me by surprise in what we would be doing. I don't know what I expected. Obviously, this game's been in development now for 6 to 7 years, I believe. It's been delayed multiple times. It's kind of become a bit of a meme at this point. We've had conversation of should they just cancel it and things like that. And I will say openly, I'm very, very, very thankful that they did not cancel this game. And this is a game now that I do generally think I will put a lot of hours in to that I didn't plan on doing so. So yeah, congrats to Ubisoft, to be honest with you, because they've persevered with this a lot. But yeah, I'm surprised. Well, Despawn, you saw the stream.
Yeah.
Again, you moderate for me in the Ubisoft chat. Sorry about that, by the way. What did you think of what you saw?
That I need a holiday. No, again, same as you. Like, I was quite surprised in how like in depth it is and how robust all the character. Like, I was gonna say the character customization, but the ship customization is. The combat actually feels like you have to plan it out.
Yeah.
Like obviously choosing the way you set up your cannons on your ship and things like that looks really interesting. And then obviously aiming for those weak spots on ships, making sure that you're picking fights with lone ships because 4 of us will come around the bend at you.
Oh,
that happened a couple of times.
That happened to me a few times, taking fights with ships that I definitely shouldn't have been.
No.
But yeah, you hit the nail on the head there with picking your points, right? It's like knowing to demobilize certain ships by taking out the sails first, and then obviously then aiming for certain weak points, red barrels, things like that, all play a key role in how to tackle each fight as you're out there on the sea.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's more like there's more tactics involved than just like aim and shoot and just keep shooting until they go underwater.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like obviously plan your attacks. If you've got a group of people that you can work with, like aiming from different sides and those kind of things. Yeah, no, like I definitely think they've got something interesting on their hands here at Ubisoft. I'd be interested to see how that lasts in like, because it definitely feels like they're gearing it up to be like a very long-winded game. Not in a negative way, but like there'll be a lot of customizations, a lot of grinding to get to those infamy levels. And I'm just wondering how interesting that gameplay loop is going to be like 10, 20, 30 hours in.
Yeah, sounds stupid. The one thing I'm interested to see is how different the map changes. Again, you're in the sea. right? And I see what you get what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that sounds stupid, right? Like that sounds like, well, you're in the sea, but I mean more the areas around, because obviously you're going around the sea, and there's resources around as well. Like there's a coconut islands and things like that. I'm very interested to see. The fact we were in a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of the map, and just at the end of the 3 hours of what I did, I was just before I died, I was going through like this giant change in weather, where it was like a giant storm. And as I'm going through, I'm seeing these ships in the far distance, things like that. That I'm like, can they keep those moments of interest going for, like you say, 20, 30, 40 hours? I don't know. But I do agree with you on. I think this is going to be. It reminds me of Sea of Thieves in a way, where like, I don't know if it's going to hit straight away, but I think when it does hit, it's going to hit with a certain audience, and that audience is going to keep it going. Kind of the Ubisoft way in a way, where like a game that you wouldn't expect to. What's the skating one? Champions, right? Oh god, I'm forgetting.
Roller Champions.
Roller Champions. Again, I'm sure that game isn't going to be anywhere as popular as what I'm talking about, but it's like there's a core audience there. They keep putting content out for it, and that audience really cares. And that's something that I've learned, obviously, working for Ubisoft as well, where I'm like, oh, they've got so many different pockets of fans for all these different series. And I do think Skull and Bones definitely can compete on a level with Sea of Thieves that I wasn't expecting it to be able to.
Yeah, I don't like the thing. Obviously, the similarities there, but I think their focus on the customization of the ships is going to help it stand out a little bit more. Because with Sea of Thieves, it's you change the color of your sails, or you have a bigger boat. That's about it. And it's more about the adventure on the seas than the customization of your ship. This generally feels like, Skull and Bones feels at the moment like they are trying to set it up so you are building your own like ship's adventure, and like you can show off how well you've done with your ship, and obviously the masts and sails and everything and how it looks. And I want to say the figureheads on the front of the boats as well. All that kind of stuff. So I think, they're going to, like, there's definitely going to be some similarities, and I think people who enjoy Sea of Thieves are probably going to enjoy the ship combat from this.
Yes.
And same again for anyone who played Black Flag, you'll probably enjoy it. It just, it feels a bit more in depth from what I've seen. Obviously, you'll be able to answer that more. But
I didn't even get to the ship on AC. I've got to be honest with you. I really didn't enjoy Black Flag, like the opening where I was like, and again, those type of Assassin's Creed games. I know, no, I know I'm wrong for my opinion.
No, I'm not. You know.
I know my opinion's wrong.
That was just me thinking out loud.
Crazy. I knew I should have come back to this podcast. No, but it's Crash. You weren't interested in this game at all, right?
No.
I do think you'd enjoy it.
I like Black Flags because of the whole experience. I wouldn't like just the ship experience.
I think you and 3 friends all jumping in ships, honestly, Crash, you know me. I didn't give a crap about this game. Yeah. And then literally the whole time I'm playing, I'm like, I could see me and a couple of friends just going off and getting into these. I have no information. I don't get told nothing. But you gotta imagine there's a Kraken in this game. I know that they're on the map. We got to see the hippo. There's hippos and there's crocodiles. Just us all going around. There's PvP as well. Like us going around and like bullying some big ship that we see, and it's just like getting destroyed. There's just a lot of fun moments I can see that's going to be had in this game. I think you'll enjoy it more than you expect. If you try it.
I'll just say this statement, and this might not make a lot of sense to people, but I think it'll make sense to you, Fix. Okay. I could play Borderlands with co-op with friends and have a very good time.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean I like the game, but
that's true. No. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I think you might be right that I could have a fun time with the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would associate that necessarily with what I've seen of the game.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. It's
So it doesn't change my interest in it. If enough people I know are playing it, I'd 100% be down to play and jump in
I get you.
with people. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the open beta and seeing more people in the world. The one thing I really did enjoy was seeing the other players in the world in the little hub, the hub bit as you come into dock, I guess. Seeing like I had that ship envy anytime I saw somebody else's ship, and was just like, I'm in this little tiny rowboat. It feels like you're like, oh my god, look what they've got. How long have they played for? And you're like, not that much longer than you, but they're still that very impressive. So
how they get you.
Yeah.
Is co-op drop in and play? Like, can you just join somebody whenever?
I haven't got a clue.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think so. I think so, but I'm not sure.
I was just curious if that means that if you're ever playing solo, you can run into a group of people, or whether they queue you up.
No, you can run into a group of people and just join each other's. Like I had people join me on the open sea, like people just coming up and then asking to join my party type thing. So I'd imagine so.
So then you could also run into just people PvPing. Is PvP like its own separate thing, or is it all
not
tied
separate?
together?
But I think it has like a separate area.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So like imagine like I guess like Diablo, like a certain part of the map would be
okay.
PvP for as far as I understand. Yeah.
And whatever worry I would have had, I think is gone. You just don't go into those areas if you don't want to do PvP.
Yeah. Oh, you can't. There's not. I don't think there's a chance of people griefing.
That was more so my worry. If you're like go in and play solo, if there is that drop-in function, because then they're not sort of sifting through how many players are in a party. I was just more worried of like just a gang of people running around and like, just griefing people.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. The one thing I did like is it had that same effect that like that I always equate this to Destiny. I'm sure it's not the only game that's ever done it. Where it's like there's a world event happening and everyone goes to that world event, and that's really cool to me in ship form as well, because you're like, I'm doing this plunder, and we had that one guy that come over and literally carried me through the entire plunder. And that to me was like, oh, that's a really cool experience. Like I can imagine if they set up these big gigantic boss fights with krakens and things like that, it is going to be 10 ships all go into this giant kraken, all tackling it together and then going about their business and coming back. And that to me seems really cool if that is what they've got planned, which it seems like is the plan, but again, closed beta, very limited in what we could see. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, which I am pleasantly surprised about. Pleasantly surprised about. All right, let's get into Gamescom and opening night live, shall we? Topic of the show this week. Gamescom has happened. Today is the last day. Opening night live happened on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday. I didn't get to watch it live. Despawn, you watched it live?
Yes.
Reacting to it on YouTube channel?
On my channel, yeah.
Nice. How was it? How was the show itself?
Bit of a weird one, that one. So it's going in, because Jeff Keighley came out and said, temper your expectations, not going to be any big announcements. It is literally just showing off games and stuff and things that are going to be at Gamescom or things that are due. And going in knowing that, it was a pretty good show. We had a stage invader, as seems to be the thing.
Yeah, I saw this. Someone asking about GTA 6.
Yeah, there's just some idiot just coming on in a Stone Cold t-shirt asking for, we just want GTA 6. We just want, like, no, we don't. Like, that can wait till next year. I mean, I want it, don't get me wrong, but not enough to ruin a developer's day.
What was that about? Like, what's going on with Jeff Keighley? Is he going to get better security or what?
I hope so, because this is the second time now, isn't it, that this has happened?
I think even if he gets better security, a certain amount of damage has already been done, and you'll see certain people who are just not going to have a presence, at least in person, at Jeff Keighley events going forward.
You think so?
Yeah, there's already been talk online of developers being like, it's made them hesitant to do shows in general, not just Jeff Keighley shows specifically.
There is a weird, again, sorry to any kids listening, or if you're under the age of, I guess, I'm 31. So if you're under the age of like 25, I guess I'm offending you. But that generation, they do have this weird thing nowadays of like throwing phones at people and throwing things at stages and jumping up on the stage and becoming a part of the show almost like constantly. Like, why? What is it with that generation and that stuff? I always go back to the world entitlement. Like they feel like they're entitled to just do whatever they want.
Well, this is very much a case of being entitled to share their opinion when no one's asking for it.
Yeah.
It's like no one cares if this kid wants GTA 6. We all want GTA 6, but I'm not going to get up on opening night live to say so. That's what Twitter comment sections are there for, so we can block you.
How dare you? It's called X.
It's Twitter. Come on.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But the show itself, typical Jeff Keighley, I assume. Crash, I assume you watched it as well.
Yeah, typical Jeff Keighley. I think it's a typical Jeff Keighley show. I don't think I was as on it as whatever with it as Despawn was. I thought it was a bad show. Like I think Jeff Keighley was true to his word. They didn't really show anything new, and I think that's fine. I just think the showings they had of games, for the most part, was also uninteresting.
I'll say from the trailers I watched, me and Haley watched them just before we're doing the show, and I was a bit like, okay, well that live action trailer of Starfield was unneeded. And then a few other trailers that I've watched so far, which we'll go through in a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, it was kind of like I didn't need this. I didn't need this as a whole. I feel like.
Yeah. I think a lot of those trailers, like trailers on their own, would have been fine for people who are interested in those games. But I think for having them at a showcase was more so my issue with some of those trailers. Not to say that any of them like were noticeably bad. It's just it didn't feel like they were made for opening night live. They didn't get me hyped for games I was already excited for. Like the Lords of the Fallen gameplay bit or the trailer. I don't think that did much for me, and I'm already excited for that game.
Yeah. All right, let's go through them real quick before we go around in circles. So the show opened up with Todd Howard, who came out and spoke about Starfield. We then got before that, we got the live action trailer. I'm seeing there's a lot of gameplay out there now for Starfield. There's a lot of conversations out there for Starfield. I'm getting worried this game is not going to hit for some people. Despawn, you are our commentator on all things Starfield after buying the watch for £300. How are you feeling now? Okay, talk to me.
It is being shipped.
Ooh!
I got the notification.
Okay. I did see a TikTok actually of someone unboxing theirs. So I did think, oh, maybe he's got his.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
Soon come.
Okay. What are you thinking? How are you? How are you feeling? We're literally we're literally there right now. Early access is
4
the
days,
31st, right?
Yeah. Like the Friday, yeah.
So I just realized that I go to Dublin the day that I'd probably get my Starfield code.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Is it an Xbox code or is it a PC code?
Probably PC, I would have thought.
Steam Deck?
No, because I'm probably gonna stream it all.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. I need to get away from GTA.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What are you thinking?
Oh, my hype levels are through the roof. I'm not nervous at all. I think I've seen a few things popping up where, like, obviously people can't talk about the game. They're not allowed. They're all under embargoes and things like that. But I think Digital Foundry came out. They got given specific permission for something where they were told that they're allowed. So I think some people were complaining that there was like stuttering in the trailer in the direct. Digital Foundry came out and said, we've been given permission to say this. This is the only thing we're allowed to say. That was a trailer issue and it is not a game issue, which suggests to me that the game is running nice and smooth. Otherwise, Digital Foundry would have kept the mouth shut and be like, yeah, it's just as bad. But so that's very smooth.
Well, from what I'm seeing, I did see a leak in a Discord about how like relatively bug-free as well so far from people's experiences, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think, they came out and said that it's the least buggy game that they've ever released. So, yeah, and they've gone gold and they're still working on fixes up to the release day, so I'm sure there'll be a day one batch. But yeah, no, like I say, my hype levels are through the roof. I am not regretting any of my ridiculous purchases in any way, shape, or form.
How many Starfield purchases have you made, Despawn?
So let's have a look. We've got the controller, the watch, and the insert coin jacket.
You didn't buy the cover for the Series X?
Well, it sold out before I decided to buy it. So, yeah.
So if you could have, you would have.
Possibly. Although I did just buy it. When you were away and we talked about mice and Matt's ridiculous mouse, I bought myself a new mouse. I got
that's the one you got me.
Yeah, the G502 Lightspeed. Yeah.
But when I say you, I mean the collective you. But it was mainly you.
It was specifically me. Yeah.
It was you only. You only.
Yeah. But no. So yeah. What was I saying? Like I say, my hype levels through the roof. I'm excited. There are people out there trying to nitpick at everything that's been shown or not shown and things like that, but I'm assuming that majority of those are all Sony players.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Hopefully not. Gretch, where are you with Starfield now?
I'm looking forward to it more than I have previously. I still have reservations, not because of anything they've shown or said about the game. My reservations are purely because it's a Bethesda game, and those don't always super hit for me. So like, it's nothing. Any reservations I have for the game are probably stuff that people are looking forward to the game because people love Bethesda games for very specific reasons.
That's fair.
I think the lack of bugs, or like how little bugs there are so far that people have been saying, I think that does have me on more of a positive note for it, because that's always been one of my biggest issue with Bethesda games. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the gameplay, from what I've seen, the gunplay in particular, probably looks like the best gunplay they've had in a game ever. And I think that's exciting as well. I think the jetpacking around and all that stuff looks cool. I think the space combat's the one thing where I'm like, that's either going to hit very well, or it's going to be my least interesting, the part I'm least interested with for the game.
That's fair.
But overall, pretty positive towards the game right now.
This is the first time I'm actually, again, you got to remember, I wasn't into Bethesda games until I started this podcast. I remember starting this podcast and doing Fallout 4, right? And that was like a weekly, me and Ross coming on and like, what did you get up to? And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, in a way of like, again, I'm going to be behind you guys because I go to Dublin for 4 days, so you'll have like a 4-day head start. But in a way, I'm kind of excited for that as well, where I'm like, oh, I did this, and you both go, oh, I'm 4 days in, and I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Like that's, and so I'm excited, and I'm not into space, as you all know. The one thing I really am hopeful for is, and they did a good job with this with Fallout 4, I felt like, with the settlement stuff, where don't force me to do things that I don't want to do. Yeah. I don't care about the spaceship stuff. So please don't force me to have to build spaceships and stuff. I don't really care about dogfighting too much. So please don't force me to do that stuff. I hope it doesn't. I hope it allows me to play it the way I want to play it.
The way it's coming across is very much like they'll do a tutorial mission where you have to do that, so you get used to it, and then you'll be like, okay, now jog on into space, and if you come across those things, keep doing them. Like you said, the settlement thing is a prime example. I think there are moments, like there are certain things where you have to set up settlements to like get resource and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
But then once it's done, you don't have to keep going back to manage it and stuff like that. You just put somebody in there and it runs it for you. So those are, like you say. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it really depends how tedious a lot of that stuff is. Because I know in Fallout 4, the settlements, completely optional, not something you have to do. But the settlements were kind of tedious to do, just because it wasn't a great system in place.
Yeah.
It was a good system for Fallout at the time, don't get me wrong, just not a great system overall. And a lot of times when there are systems you have to interact with, people generally complain about them when they're tedious, not you go in and you get out, right? So hopefully those the settlements or whatever you have to set up aren't that tedious for you to do and go through.
I'm just looking forward to having a game I can just sit down at night and go, oh yeah, I want to put a couple hours into this, and then go off, do my missions, or if I do get lost in, I don't know, exploring planets and getting resources, like that's okay. I did that with Assassin's Creed. Far Cry. No, wait, was it Assassin's Creed? No, it was Assassin's Creed. It was Assassin's Creed. Yeah, Origins. You're right. Where it was just like me and you sit in a Discord call, and I'm just sat there the whole.
I'm hunting crocodiles.
I'm hunting crocodiles, and Christian's like, "You're an idiot," and I'm like, "I don't care. This is so much fun. Like that's all I'm doing for like 4 or 5 hours. Like that's fine with me." So, yeah, I'm ready. 4 days. 4 days. We will see. We will see. Next up, you had Little Nightmares 3 that got announced. It's coming in 2024. 2-player co-op. I don't know if this was, again, everything. I can't say too much because I've got this from Windows Central, who's done like a strictly Xbox rundown, so I don't know what's coming to other platforms. So I may misspeak a little bit, but yeah. I watched the trailer. It looked pretty good. Me and Haley both said that maybe we'll actually give this one a try. Because of the co-op element, which it looked like a creepy, cool couch co-op experience. And I do like supermassive games. Obviously, a very different supermassive game, but still a supermassive game nonetheless. So
Yeah.
I'm,
How
I'm
familiar are you
somewhat-
with the previous ones?
I played it at a preview event,
Okay.
number one, and was like, oh, I see this, but I also had just finished playing. I can't remember what it was, maybe Limbo or something else in that same sort of style.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I'm okay for this right now, but I don't imagine it's going to be. I'm going to need to play 1 and 2 to play 3 if I'm honest from the trailer
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
What was you going to say, Crash?
Oh no, I was gonna ask the same thing Despawn asked. Like,
Oh,
if you
okay,
played
yeah.
any of the previous ones.
Yeah, no, I played the number one preview event at Comic Con. So, yeah. What about you guys? You interested at all?
No.
Not really my cup of tea.
Fair enough. Next up, we had Black Myth. Woo. How do I say it? Kong. Yeah, thank God. Was what I was gonna say, but I didn't get it wrong. I didn't love this trailer, if I'm honest. I didn't think it was bad, but it just didn't show me anything more than I was already expecting.
We've
Which,
had better showings for this game.
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
better
100%.
showings.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm glad this wasn't the only footage I've seen of this game. But the only thing that I saw was there was a little bit of a weather effect. I felt like that they shown as he's sort of running through. That looked pretty cool. But other than that, I'm still excited for this game. But this trailer on its own, I'm glad this wasn't the only trailer I've ever seen for this game. I'll be honest. This is definitely a you game as well, Crash. Are you still excited for it?
Oh yeah, I think of the games we know that are coming out in 2024, this might be my most excited for game. I'm sure there's like a game that I'm forgetting about right now.
GTA 6 feels really sad right now. I can't believe it.
Like, you could confirm to me that GTA 6 is coming out next year. This would be
You still
more,
don't care. I know.
more this game, yeah. So don't worry about
They've
that.
updated the shooting, though, Chris. They've updated the shooting.
I'll have to play it. I'd have to play it. I have to play it. Like, seeing it and them telling me would mean nothing for that game. But yeah, I'm very excited for this game. The showing was not that great.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of showing for the game, and people played, like, I think a 45-minute segment or something like that. I've watched a couple of videos of people talking about it, and I'm very, very excited for everything that's been said and talked about. Very Souls inspired from what people are saying, but also very much its own and unique take on that, and a successful one at that from what people are saying, which is always very dope to hear.
These one, you into? I don't know. You into Souls-like games?
No, absolutely hate them. Let me phrase that. I enjoy them until like the third boss, and then I have a nervous breakdown and have to stop playing and go play Minecraft.
You're like me. I'm sure you can appreciate what they are.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I'm very much the same. Where I get to like the third boss. Usually, it is around the third boss, and I go, okay, now I understand what this game is. I appreciate what you guys have made here. This is not for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's exactly what this game's going to be for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it because Crash is going to be like, this is Game of the Year. Oh, I play it. I enjoy it. It makes my top 5, but because I appreciate what they've done, and Crash slags me off for the rest of the year.
No. I don't slag you off for Elden Ring. What did it get? Number 3 on your list?
Speaking of freeze, Crash, Killing Floor 3 has been announced. The story takes place in 2091 when an evil company has produced several biogenic monsters. This game is, you know what Killing Floor is if you've ever played it. It's a go around and shoot them up. Run around with your friends and shoot things in the face. That's what Killing Floor is. Same, that was what 1 was. That's what 2 will be. And I'm sure 3 will be exactly the same.
Killing Floor sounds like a successful Resident Evil spin-off co-op game.
I'm not even buying. I'm not even buying.
This is bioengineered monsters.
You're an idiot. I'm not
That's
even
Resident
buying.
Evil.
I'm not even buying. I'm not playing with you now anymore. Go back to Albania, you fucking idiot. You've annoyed me. Leave the podcast forever.
Don't leave.
No, please don't. Please don't. You were missed. Have either of you played Killing Floor at all?
I played a bit of 1.
I played it. They gave it away on Steam, so I played it once.
I played 2 or 1. I'm not sure which one I played.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
If you like horde games, I feel like this is probably going to be a good experience.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's just a hard game. And it's not a bad one by any stretch, but yeah, there's only so much life you can get out of that.
Agreed. Next up, Age of Empires 4 for Xbox is out today, which was when this got announced. So was this a stealth drop?
Yeah. ish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I will say I've seen people say that the stealth drop is on the same level as what was the game that came out earlier in the year?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know if I would personally classify that because that was a completely new game on all platforms, where this has been out on PC.
Yeah.
So I don't know for me if I would consider it the same level of stealth drop because I've seen people use this as proof that Xbox going forward is going to keep doing stealth drops.
Yeah, no. I totally agree with you. This was already out. We didn't even know Hi-Fi Rush existed.
Yeah.
But it's on console now, so people that enjoy Age of Empires can enjoy this one too. I used to like Age of Empires back in the day. I think 2 was the one I first played on the. Was that on PS2? They put Age of Empires 2 on PS2, I think.
I can't remember.
I don't remember either. One of them went to PS2, I believe, and I played it there, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking something different. I feel stupid now. Let's move on. Crimson Desert gameplay. This was one of the games I actually did like the gameplay of during this showing. Obviously, not something I knew existed. Maybe I did, but it looked like a very. Yeah, I did.
We've seen it at a conference for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. This trailer definitely got me. I liked what I saw from the horses, the little horse mechanic of them just moving around and moving sideways. I was like, Assassin's Creed could never. That's literally what I thought. I was like, wow, okay, this actually looks pretty interesting.
I had a completely different thought. Is the fact that you can pet the cat and the dog, therefore it's game of the year.
Oh, of course. What about picking up the sheep?
Game of the century?
Gotcha. That makes sense. No, really good showing for Crimson Desert. If I'm being honest, I don't know what to compare it to because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed, and then I look at it again, I'm like, kind of GTA-ish in a way of like them kicking them off the cart and that whole element. You've got fishing as well, and it looks really interesting.
I'm interested because apparently it's supposed to be some kind of MMO, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
So or am I thinking of something else that got announced?
Statement. If I'm not mistaken, I think a statement came out that the game's like mostly single player.
Oh,
it is made from like a MMO team. I don't know what the online will incorporate because it is some sort of online game. But they made Black Desert Online, which
that's what it reminded me of.
If you watch the gameplay of it, it's very much in that vein. I'm actually excited that they're like it's gonna be more single player focused and stuff like that. Because from what I saw, I was like, I don't know how this would work in a multiplayer game. But if there is more of a single player focus, I'm like, okay, then a lot of this stuff can still happen in the way that it does. Of course, we'll still have to wait and holdable sheep. We'll have to wait and see what it's like when it fully comes out. But I do think it was actually like this was probably the best showing in my opinion of the showcase. Maybe there was something better that I'm missing. But I did really like the showing for this game.
The only thing I didn't like in the whole thing was the ending of them falling through the portal looking thing, like that whole. That was the only bit of the whole trailer I was a bit like, huh. Clearly, I don't have context for this, and that's why I don't like it. But everything else up to that point, I really enjoyed apart from that. But yeah, really, really looking forward to this game now, which is good. We're always looking for. That's meant to be releasing this year as well. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it gets delayed, but it's meant to be releasing this year. So
maybe it enters an open beta or something like that this year, some sort of beta.
Could be, maybe. Yeah, maybe. What about you? You into these type of games, Despawn?
Yes, if it is like you say, primarily single player, I'm totally down for that. MMOs have kind of been and gone for me. I just don't have the time or patience to grind for hundreds of hours. But yeah, like
good MMO.
If you if you can give me good MMO gameplay in a single player story, then yeah, I'm totally there for that. And again, like if I can pet a cat, a dog, and carry a sheep around, then yeah, I'm in.
Perfect. Next up, we got another look at Payday 3. Obviously, don't need to be sold on this. This to me just smell of. Don't forget that we come out very, very soon, September 21st to be exact. It looks like more Payday. Like, I know that sounds like a diss. That sounds like a bad thing. It is not. I cannot wait for Payday 3. I can't wait to get into that loop. I can't wait to be upgrading my guns and unlocking attachments and all that good stuff and dealing with these missions in very different ways. I cannot wait. And obviously, Ice-T, with the voiceover on this one as well. I think that could be really good as well. Good addition.
Yeah, he's not just a voiceover. I think he's basically one of the characters in the game now. So he's going to be giving you missions in New York.
Gotcha.
Which is going to be interesting.
We'll see how that goes.
You like Ice-T?
I like Ice-T.
Do you like New York?
Fan of Ice-T. I hate New York.
Hey, New York.
Horrible place.
Wow.
Horrible place. I just remember Ice-T in Gears 3 because he voiced the character in Gears 3.
Yeah, he did.
And I was fine with that character, but that character also wasn't a main character.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it really depends how much.
I don't think he's going to be a
He's
main
in
character.
there.
No,
I feel
no.
like it's going to be a case of blah 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 blah. Go.
Yeah. I want
Go
you
off
to
the
rob
mission.
Do
this
I have to
Back.
hear him before every mission?
Probably.
in New York, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I'm just not going to do the
probably.
missions in New York.
No.
Still do the New
yeah,
York ones, you'll
probably.
be fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Payday's got that loop anyway, right? Like
Mhm.
there usually isn't that many missions, anyway, but you can tackle them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Because we haven't spoken really. Like, are you interested for Payday?
I've been like somewhat interested, more so because you're interested. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a great game that I could end up playing with Fix.
Yeah.
But I will say this showcase, the gunplay looked good. And from what I've remember, I've played of Payday, and I haven't
Oh,
played
yeah.
too much Payday. And I
Gunplay
played Payday on PC
Yeah.
when I wasn't good at mouse and
Yes.
keyboard.
Yes.
So I'm like, the gun's controlled horribly, but I don't know if the gun's controlled horribly or it's just garbage at the game, right?
So
Toss up.
So I got into the beta for 3, played that for like an entire day. It does feel good. It feels very
Okay.
good. I did also go back to Payday 2 after, just because I had that itch to play it again. And yeah, there definitely feels like there's some genuine improvements there. So yeah, it might also be that you're bad, but you know, at least you can't blame the guns for that because
Yeah.
it does feel a lot better.
I think that's the one thing about Payday as well, though, right? Which is you do start off, if I remember right, with very basic guns. That is kind of the point of the progression in the game, is like to upgrade these weapons as well. So it does feel a little not janky, but off a little bit at the start as you're
Yeah.
leveling up. So yeah, 21st can't come sooner. Let me tell you. Next up, we got another look at Assassin's Creed Mirage. This, to me, again, was a very bad showing. I don't
Horrible.
understand why they showed this. I didn't enjoy it. It did nothing for me. It didn't get me excited. It did literally nothing.
I
This
think
was the worst showing of the showcase.
yeah.
This was the thing I was looking forward to seeing the most at the showcase, and this was the biggest disappointment I've had at the showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one definitely felt like, not great, didn't show anything. The only good thing about this showing was that it was very much focused on the fact that it's going to have the Arabic languages support throughout the entire game. So for that more authentic experience. But yeah, other than that, could have been, like I say, a blog post. This didn't need to be part of this showing. And like you say, this didn't show anything extra or interesting about this game.
Yep.
Saying that, I'm 100% playing it.
Oh no, I'm still excited
Yeah,
for it. It's funny. Haley said to me literally just before we started watching, she's like, "Oh, when's the new one come out?" I'm like, "Oh, soon," and October 5th to be exact. And I was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like this though. I generally don't know if this is gonna." After playing the other RPG like Assassin's Creed games, I'm now like, "Oh god, I'm scared. Maybe this won't be one for me." I feel like the series in which I'm enjoying, like Resident Evil, things like that, I'm having to become more selective in which games I actually put time into. Because I'm like, well, that one isn't for me. This one is for me. I feel like this game, I'm going to know within the first 5 hours if this is for me or not. Which I know it's not as long experience anyway. It's like 20 hours. So,
Yeah.
but within 5, you should know, right? You should know exactly if you're going to like this or not. So,
Yeah.
we got a quick look at Tekken 8 Crash, 32 fighters. A lot of news coming out into about Tekken, if I'm not mistaken. I've been watching King J talk about it on Twitter and stuff like that, who's the person who I go to for all my fighting game stuff, really. You excited?
For Tekken?
Yeah, you're not a Tekken guy, I know that.
No, I had started learning it whenever I think I talked about it on the podcast, where it's like I'm learning Tekken. I'm somewhat looking forward to it. I think my biggest thing with Tekken is finding a character I like. Because none of the characters, I don't know what it is about the design for a lot of the like in-game Tekken characters that just don't vibe with me. Tekken 7 had both Akuma and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, so it was 2 characters. I'm like, cool, I'm down to play those characters.
Yeah.
Where this one, it really is. I'll probably pick it up regardless, but whether I really get invested into it is when that full 32 roster is revealed. Are there any characters that I really vibe with?
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to it. I think everything they've shown is very good. Looks very good, at least.
Did you see there was some news that come out about Killer Instinct?
Yes, I
We
did.
held off on that,
I
didn't we?
did.
We didn't talk about it on the podcast because we were waiting for you. So, how do you feel about that?
Look, I can't say, but look, Iron Galaxy is making a new Killer Instinct. Until they say they aren't, in my mind, they're making new Killer Instinct. In 20 years, I'm gonna be like, Iron Galaxy is gonna drop the new Killer Instinct any day now.
Okay.
You know,
That's what. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep wishing, mate. Keep wishing.
Yeah.
Next up, you had Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. Typical showing of Call of Duty, if I'm being honest with you. Which isn't bad. It's not a bad thing at all. Creative director of Sledgehammer came out as well, talking about the largest zombies offering coming to the Modern Warfare 3 first campaign. I'm excited for this, but I'm excited in a different way. I'm just excited to play COD again. I didn't enjoy the last COD, to be honest with you. And I know things are coming back that I actually hate, which is like canceling things like that. But I understand for the larger community, it's actually a welcoming. So yeah, it's either learn it, reload canceling, slide canceling, either learn it or stop playing COD. Is my opinion for me now. It's like get on board or shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Did this trailer do anything for you guys?
The trailer, no. Like everything I've seen around the game, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the announcement of PvE zombies in open world sounds interesting. I've never got a chance to actually put in my efforts into a zombie mode in a Call of Duty game properly. But yeah, like that sounds like if you're talking like a PvE war zone with zombies, then yeah, that sounds good to me.
See, the thing is with zombies is you just need a group who are dedicated to playing
Yeah.
zombies.
Yeah,
That's the thing, because there's so many. The thing about zombies, there's so many secrets and things like that in it, which I'm like, I wish I had a group of people. It's a bit like Horde mode with Gears, like not that they've got a bunch of secrets, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is just that you need a group of people who are dedicated and want to play it for a long time and actually think about the things that we need and not just, you go over there, you go over there, boom, yeah, we're good.
Those game modes really have their own skill set apart from like everything else. You can see people one-man zombies modes and like get mad like crazy far into it. And I'm like, if I were to go into that solo, I'm dying at like round 3, you know?
Yep.
So there definitely is a skill set, and finding the right people to want to learn it is a bit difficult because I feel like it's so far off from. It's really its own like subgenre in Call of Duty, where people can like Call of Duty. Some people just really like zombies and they don't mess with the rest of it, and a lot of people really like the rest of it and don't really mess with zombies. And I don't know how much of an overlap there actually is between the people who get heavily invested into zombies versus multiplayer. So I could see it being difficult to possibly put a full group of people together for that.
We've got 2 despawn. I'll do it with you.
Okay.
If you say to me we're doing it one day, I'm totally down to spend a whole day just trying to
learning it.
Do zombies. Yes, 100%. Kresh is definitely not though. He hates Horde mode. Kresh hates Horde mode.
Here's what I will say: it being an open player Horde mode or zombie mode, somewhat interested. I'll wait for reviews on how that mode plays out. You guys might have me on board. No promises.
We can't have Matt though. He won't be able to put the time in. Matt gets bored after 3 hours of gaming.
Or he plays 20 without us.
Or 20, but he has to be sat at his sofa with his missus next to him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Next up, you had Nightingale. Gameplay was shown for this. It's coming into early access February 22nd. I'm trying to think which one this was. This
is the survival.
Yeah.
This is the one made specifically for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I am very excited for this one.
Can I be honest? The more I see this game, the less I care about this game.
Yeah. So we've seen the trailer. I remember the first trailer for this. being interesting. I saw the gunplay for this trailer looked awful. I don't give a crap what anybody says. The gunplay in this trailer looked terrible.
In this game's defense, when you're looking at this genre, gunplay and combat are usually not great.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
So,
yeah, looking at the gunplay on this trailer, it was that was the first thing I noticed, and I was like, "Oh no, oh this don't look good. That needs to tighten up before this comes out," which is why it's coming into early access. To be fair to it, I mean, I would definitely give it a go. Like, I'm not gonna act like I wouldn't, but it didn't blow me away. Definitely didn't blow me away.
I mean, this is also your type of game, no? Or it was at one point your type of game.
It is. No, I get what you mean. Like, when I see every time I see it, I'm like, oh, this is a me game, and then I saw more of it, and I was just a bit like, maybe not this one. That's what I mean. I'm starting to get a bit more picky with, like, I know that I would probably play this and enjoy it for a few hours, but would I stick at it? Is my thing. And yeah, I feel like I could definitely, day one it comes out, everyone's hyped, so I'm hyped for it then, and then it feels like I'd probably be like, oh, if you really want me to play, I will. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how the gunplay feels, honestly. That's the important part for me. Next up, Immortals of Avenum. Available today. There was... So what was shown here? Because I didn't see the trailer for this.
Just another trailer.
It was just a trailer to say that it's out.
Yeah.
Either of you played it?
Nope. I've seen a bit of it.
I've decided against getting it.
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to it at one point, but...
Yeah. It looks... So this is... Just to jump into it, this is the first Unreal 5 game that's not Fortnite. And apparently, from what I've seen... Well, from what I've seen and from what I've read about it, it is very good until it's not. And then the graphics drop massively.
Have you guys seen the Series X and Series S comparison for the graphics in this game?
No.
It is atrocious. Like, the difference is atrocious.
Yeah.
Really?
The S is not doing well.
The S doesn't have grass, I think. Or it's horrible. It's really, really bad.
No shadows loading whatsoever, so it looks like people are floating, all sorts of issues. Which hopefully will be fixed in the future, but yeah, right now does not look great.
Fair enough. I did not know that. How did that one miss me? Must have missed me. I don't know.
I saw it just today, personally.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's probably been floating around for a couple of days, though, so...
Just like the characters.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shot fired! Let's go through a couple of these ones quickly. You got Hanukkah Star Rail is getting an update.
Hanukkah Star Rail?
Is that
Hanukkah?
It's not Hanukkah Star Rail, no. Honkai. It is not a Jewish holiday on a monorail.
Shout out to the Jewish people who listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm looking at this back now. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, no. Hanukkah. Yeah, no. Yep. Hey, shout out Hanukkah. Shout out Hanukkah. Not what I meant. Update for that. Genshin Impact. No, we're skipping past it.
No, I was just going to say, neither of these games are on Xbox. I don't think you can talk about them at all.
Is Genshin not come to Xbox yet? It's on PlayStation, right?
PlayStation. I don't think it's ever come to Xbox.
Wow.
That game is dead.
Anyway, Lords of the Fallen. Why the hell is it on this article about Xbox then? How dare you? Windows PC. Central. You've done me over here. Thanks for nothing. Lords of the Fallen, Crash. You said this is a game you're excited for. Yep. What do you think of this trailer?
This trailer was boring.
This is the extended story trailer, Crash. You have to like it.
I didn't. I think I've realized that after I'm sold on a game, the older I get, I just start getting less and less interested on stuff shown afterwards.
Yep.
Because a lot of times it'll ruin my expectations for a game in some way or another. There's exceptions to that.
Of course.
But I feel like the exceptions are games that are like rarely shown, and you see it like maybe it gets announced a year before it comes out, and then you see it once before it releases, or 2 years, and you see it like 2 or 3 times or something like that. Whereas this, I feel like, especially right now, there's been so much Lords of the Fallen stuff coming out that by the time I saw this, I'm like, I'm just done. I don't need to see any stuff anymore for this game.
October 13th, it releases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's co-op.
Yeah.
It's co-op, Fix.
Yeah.
It's co-op.
Yeah.
You wanted to play games, Fix?
Not interested. I'm sorry. I watched the trailer and I was just like, This does nothing for me at all. I don't think it's ever done much for me though, to be honest with you. It's just not for me. Not for me. Good luck though. Have fun with Ben. Your real best friend.
I want to play with you.
No.
I don't play with you. I'm not playing the game at all.
Wow.
That's such a lie. As he
gonna
drinks
say.
his coffee.
You don't know if it's a lie.
I know it's a lie. Sonic Superstar gets a multiplayer focus. A bunch of Sonic. You had Sonic Frontiers is getting an update as well. The update, this is for Superstar, right? So I played Superstar while I was where was I? Jesus Christ. Where did I go? Amsterdam. No. Paris. I played it in Paris. Sega had it at their booth. But I couldn't figure out how to get the multiplayer to work.
Oh.
So maybe it wasn't a
you got
multiplayer
to try
demo.
the co-op.
No. That's why I sat down. It had 2 PlayStation controllers. I sat down with Haley. I was like, come, let's play. And then I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I was like, huh.
I feel like the co-op definitely should have worked.
Yeah, oh, no, maybe. Maybe, but I didn't know how to do it. which tells me I'm getting old. When you can't
These
figure
damn
out if you need to push
devices.
stuff. Yeah, literally, that's how I felt. Frontier as well got an update. New playable characters, new challenges, all to its single player. And that comes September 18th. There's a few more to get through, so let's quickly do it. The first, Descendant. I really like the trailer. Anybody else?
Fine.
Cool.
No, wow, you guys suck. How is it when I like the look of something? No, wait, do you know what it reminded me of in a way? I don't know if it's just the cutscenes. It reminded me of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like for
that.
some reason the cutscenes reminded me of Metal Gear 2 a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, I can get behind this.
I'd be very
Obviously
disappointed, but I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
the cutscenes, not the
incredibly-
gameplay, not the
just saying,
gameplay, the cutscenes, the cutscenes.
I'm looking forward to this game.
No, me too.
But if you go into it expecting what it reminded you of, I
No,
think
no,
you're
no,
gonna be disappointed.
no. I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying. You got an open beta coming from September 19th to September 25th. For those who don't know what this is the RPG looter shooter, very sci-fi focused type game. So yeah, I really liked it.
There are no two greater words to ruin my expectation for a game than the words looter shooter.
Really?
I'm so done with looter shooters nowadays.
What about Borderlands?
Never been a fan.
Ooh, yeah, Despawn. That's what I like.
Idiots.
That's what I like.
Idiots. Absolute morons.
Yeah, could be called worse.
Stop.
No, Borderlands sucks.
No, you suck.
Does that mean you're done with Destiny, Despawn?
Oh,
I've been Destiny at one
I've been
point.
long since done with Destiny. Yeah, I haven't even jumped into the last expansion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Destiny sucks.
Cool. You can have your opinion.
I don't think Destiny sucks, but I definitely think I've played more than my.
Borderlands sucks.
Yeah, Borderlands definitely sucks.
Correct.
I definitely think I've played enough Destiny now to know that I don't need to go back.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Under the Waves is the story-driven game. We've seen this before, right? This is this is Quantum Dream's game, right? Or I think it's the studio that's in partnership with Quantum Dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like I say, studio.
Yeah, I like the look of this. It just depends on the story, right? That's pretty much what this is very dependent on. Comes out August 29th, so pretty soon on all platforms. So we shall see. Solace. I didn't get to see the trailer for this because again the article didn't have this, so you guys have to talk to me through this one. What happens?
This is the game with Troy Baker.
Mm-hmm. So that narrows it down a lot. It's basically looks like a sci-fi horror, like thriller game.
E-type game or not?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it's more story than like actual like horror combat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely feels like, well, it's got like people like Troy Baker in it, so they're definitely going to lean into the actual performance of it. I think from what I understand, it's kind of an indie studio. Like they are a small studio, but yeah, it looks like they've gone all out with this one. But yeah, also I would point out it is not coming to Xbox.
It's coming to PC though.
Yeah.
So That's good enough for me
Xbox-
because I have a PC.
I don't think
Sure.
Xbox is gonna be missing out on anything with this.
Fair enough. And maybe it will in times to come. You've got a new Mods Runner game.
Cool.
Is that if I've got that right? Yeah, I've never been into Mods Runner. I'll be honest with you. I'm not into these type of games.
No.
But you got a new one of those coming. The Crew Motorfest, sorry, has got itself a new trailer as well, gameplay trailer. I like the Crew enough, but these trailers just never touch Forza, in my opinion.
It's kind of difficult to make a good trailer for a racing game, if I'm gonna be honest.
Turns
Well,
out to
Forza
do it
does it
every single time.
Forza does it every time, though.
Forza does it because of the visuals. Because
That's all you need
every
for a good
time you
car
see
game.
Forza, it looks better.
That's true.
Mm.
And when you see the Forza and then you go and watch the Crew, no matter how good the Crew looks, it's
It
just
don't
not
look like
gonna
Forza.
compare. Yeah.
The one thing you got to give the Crew is it isn't just cars as well. Like
True.
the Crew
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
there's a bunch of different vehicles in it, so obviously less for them to
That's the
harder
thing,
for them
though.
to focus on one thing, right?
Yeah.
Is this one multiple vehicles?
Well, from what I imagine, it's like this so far it's just cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine, I don't know. To me, it reminds me there's going to be an update at some point, and they're going to have like airplanes added to the game or something like that. It's just what I expect. But I guess for the point that I was trying to make, you're right. They've only focused on cars, and it still doesn't look as good as Forza. It's just hard. Forza's just such a top tier racing game,
Yeah.
Motorsport or Horizon. And unfortunately, like we do with any game, right? We think of a third person action game. 9 times out of 10, we compare it to The Last of Us or something like that. Like that's what you do, and the same thing here. Where I'm always comparing the Crew, which I will play at some time, to Forza. So yeah, which is kind of an unfair comparison, if we're being honest.
I think to know whether that showing was good, you'd have to ask somebody who's like super into racing games
Yeah,
and cars in general, because I think that's probably who this is more aimed at than your everyday gamer who might be super into it.
I kind of agree with you, but it's also like the Crew to me does feel like a casual game, where they need to get a casual audience into those type of games, and it's a little, not even a little more. It is more approachable than obviously a Forza Motorsport, if we're being honest. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Free trial coming out for it, by the way, September 14th to September 17th. The game releases on September 14th as well. So we'll see. Cyberpunk, the Phantom Liberty, new trailer for this. Yeah, so I'm hearing, other than the expansion, I'm hearing they've redone a bunch of stuff and pretty much made it like a 2.0 Cyberpunk. I'm super tempted to go back now.
Man,
Now
you should,
seems I've not played it. Yeah,
for what they showed in this trailer and everything, because this kind of focused more on not the expansion, but actually the base updates that are coming. So the 2.0 release, and yeah, it feels like they've completely redesigned all the combat, the leveling up system, and yeah, like they've included like proper vehicle combat and the way they were explained. So I watched a couple of trailers after the fact as well of them just talking about it, and the way that they're explaining how you can basically spin the car around, point your gun out of the window, like like a classic action film, and in slow motion, just shoot as the car spins, and
nice.
And then all of the like say the skill trees being updated, all of the new abilities, the new weapons. The way that all the weapons like kind of affect you and things like that as well just looks like this is, if you have not played this entire story yet, this is the perfect time to jump in when this drops.
I'm tempted. I'm still like, I feel like I'm emotionally scarred from playing it the first time though, of just getting hard locked out. For some reason, there's a part of me that's like, I'm gonna have to start all over again, and I wasn't crazy far in, but. You know when you have to replay a section of a game that you've already played, you're just like, I don't even want to. But you are right. Now is probably the perfect time too, with all the updates. It's taken a long time to get here, though.
Yeah, it has. But I mean, it's been worth it, I think, from what I've seen.
They could have stopped working on this game a while ago because they
Yeah.
made more than their money's worth from the game.
Oh yeah.
So I do think there is a positive, and all the upgrades are also free. You don't have to buy the expansion
No.
for upgrades. So I do think that it took a long time, but for me, I think it's worth it. I'm super looking forward to it. I've been itching to do another Cyberpunk playthrough.
Yeah.
And I've just been waiting for this expansion for a while. I know people, I think people played it, was it last month or something like that? It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And it was generally like a very positive reception. So seeing the actual gameplay and how it looks different, and stuff like that, I'm very, very excited for it.
Same.
Next up, Stormgate. Again, you guys are gonna have to run the show kind of thing here. I didn't get to see any of the rest of this. This is where I got to. So
Don't remember this one.
So what are we looking at here?
It's an RTS game.
Oh, okay.
The
Wrong
showing
game.
was there.
Wrong game to stop on, Fix. I mean, maybe the perfect game to stop on. I mean, yeah. And none of us are into RTSs, right?
Nope.
No.
No.
The most I'm into in RTS would be Age of Mythology would be an RTS, right? Because Age of Empires
Yeah.
is an RTS.
Yeah.
Age of Mythology, if it's not Age of Mythology, don't really care.
Fair enough. Latest approach.
Last Epoch.
Why did I say latest?
Dyslexia, bro.
Nah, that's bullshit. That's just lazy fix off. That's not even try. I didn't even try. Like I didn't even. I looked at it and was like,
Different.
I was looking at the
That's
ruins
close
of
enough.
power, and I saw no, but I saw like I was looking at new mastery. I'm reading it before I go to the next game, and then I'm like, latest? It doesn't even say that. Sorry. This isn't coming to Xbox either, so we can just skip that. Marvel Snap.
Cool.
Not on Xbox either. Armored Core 6
Is out.
is out. I'm seeing people playing it. People seem to be enjoying it.
Yep.
I think they're all a bunch of liars. I have such a weird relationship with Armored Core because I never understood it as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? So I was trying to play it when it was on the I can't remember what system, but like I remember being like, "Well, I like big robots," and I remember playing it, moving around really fast, and not understanding it. And ever since then, I've had a deep-rooted hatred in my stomach for the Armored Core games, just because I never understood it.
Fair.
So now I see people enjoying it, and I'm like, "Well, I didn't understand it then, so no, you can't like it now. How dare you?" I'm hearing good things. Chris. I'm hearing good things.
Totally normal.
I've seen very good things about the game. I've seen a lot of people say this is like mecha Souls games, and then I've seen other people say that they've always been that way. So the reason you dislike it is probably because you're not very big into Souls games, and so I think that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I was even worse as a kid. Like I used to cry about everything. So imagine me getting killed all the time.
Yeah,
That made
you would've-
perfect sense
you
why I
would've
hated
had
it. Neither of you guys into Armored Core though, right?
I wasn't until I started seeing people play it, and now I'm like, am I gonna suffer through 4 hours of this? Probably at some point.
Are you gonna get through 3 bosses and go, no, thank you?
Yeah, that's enough for me. To be honest,
Awesome.
the most fun I've seen in this game is the customization options, because you can. They seem to be really good about how they're handling customization. So you could buy and sell weapons, and you don't lose money for doing it. So you can build out the whatever robot you want to do, or mech, I guess. The funny part of it is when you start painting it. I have seen some people do a Barbie-inspired robot, Buzz Lightyear, all sorts of things. So yeah, so it looks like there's a lot of fun to be had in that aspect. And yeah, the combat looks like, yeah, I don't know, like, so it feels like the missions are quite short. It seems to have a problem. I don't know if it is a problem, but it seems to have the kind of thing that Anthem had, if you remember back in the day. I said back in the day, it wasn't that long ago. But where Anthem would constantly force you to go back to a hub world between every mission. It feels like that in this. Like, it's very much a case of you do a mission, you're back into your hub world. You do a mission, or you're back into a menu.
Okay.
So, from my understanding, that's part of like the gameplay loop specifically for this game. 'Cause
Okay.
you are encouraged to like switch out parts for your mech for different missions. I
Right.
think you also have to like repair stuff if I'm not mistaken. It is very much in line with the experience of the game from what I understand.
Then maybe I won't jump into that because that doesn't sound enticing to me. And I might be
I've heard
missing out
it's
on a
like-
great experience, but yeah, not for me.
I've heard it's like a lot of management. Like a lot of it is just you spend a lot of time just like managing your mech and what you have equipped and stuff like that.
Right.
So if that's not something you're interested in, I think for most people it's probably like a pass on it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Something that none of us will be passing on, I'm sure. Mortal Kombat 1. New trailer for this.
Yep.
Crash, what did we see?
For the trailer, we saw Sindel, and I forgot who the other character they showed.
The
Showed
dude with
another
the
Shao.
legs. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, I thought it was a good showcase for it. I think this showcase was probably the most interested I've been in the story. Either this one or the Baraka one, where they were like, oh, he's inflicted with a disease and stuff like that. I think narratively, the retcons they're doing, or I don't know if it's retcons because it's a full-on reboot to the universe. I think they're all very cool and probably set them up to tell a cool story from the get-go. Because I think one of the problems Mortal Kombat has had has it's always carried the past game stories forward. So like, there's only so much you can work with some of the stuff they've done because it's always been a more campy franchise because it came out. I forget the year that Mortal Kombat 1 came out, but it came out a very long time ago, and so carrying that legacy of story going forward.
1990.
I want to say 7.
That's what I was thinking, but
5?
I'm not sure.
I'll get checked now.
Okay.
Actually, I like this trailer though. I think, like you said, it made me interested for the story. The fatalities look suitably ridiculous, as always. And yeah, this looks like if you like. I'm not a massive fan. Oh my god, he got it right.
92.
What?
Wow.
I'm guessing it was the arcade would have come out in 92, and they probably didn't make its way to PlayStation until. Let me check.
Well, it would have been. Did it release on Nintendo consoles, or was it Super Nintendo? It was Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. If I'm not
Mega
mistaken,
Drive.
released.
Yeah,
Mega Drive.
Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah, Genesis. So we call the Mega Drive and the Genesis differently in England and America.
So
right?
they're the same console.
Yeah,
Never
they're the same
understood
thing.
this.
I believe.
Got it.
Yeah. they're
I've
the
always
same
in my
thing.
mind. I'm always like, they're different consoles.
No,
It's-
they're the
it's-
same
no.
thing.
It's the same with the
Oh, wait.
Famicom and the NES and SNES.
Got it. Okay.
93, it came out on Game Boy, Game Gear, SNES, Genesis. Yeah.
That's why
Sweet.
Mortal Kombat has like such a big casual fan base, is because Mortal Kombat literally was releasing on everything constantly.
Wait.
It was one of the earlier fighting games to come to consoles and like
Yeah.
consistently put itself out on consoles.
Okay, I'm not crazy. So I'm looking at the logos now. So I'm seeing like the Sega Genesis logo and then seeing the Sega Mega Drive logo. I'm like, oh no, I see the Mega Drive logo. I'm like, oh no, I am sounding right. I'm just, I thought I was crazy for a second there. No, yeah, same thing, but yeah, strange. 92, bro. That's when I was born.
Damn.
You're an old man. Wow.
Shut up.
Cough.
You're only 3 years older than me.
No,
Perish.
I'm really excited for this. I'm actually really excited for Mortal Kombat. I actually got reached out to and asked if I wanted to check out the beta, but I was away, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, I'm interested in the retcon for the story. I have not played a Mortal Kombat in a really long time, so I'm kind of, and people have always spoke very highly of Injustice 1 and 2, that storyline. Even all the Mortal Kombat games after, what they get up to 11?
They got up to 11. I think
Yeah.
9 to 11 are the ones that are really like
Yeah.
talked about positively in terms of like story and stuff like
So
that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to start my journey in this. But I said this, I almost bought Street Fighter like 6 times now. So maybe don't believe a word I say. Literally on holiday, Crash, I'm sat there, like I saw it at £50, and I was like, if this was on sale right now, I'd buy it. But I'm gonna buy it to play a story mode that everyone has told me is terrible.
It's very campy. It's a very, very campy story.
Yeah, it's
mode.
Capcom, I expect
Yeah.
that.
I think if you go into it with that mindset, you'll be fine. But I don't
I
know.
enjoy
if it would be
Resident
worth...
Evil. Trust me, I
That's
know
true.
campy.
I don't know. I don't know if it would be. I don't think it's worth the full, like even the
Yeah.
£50 price tag for you.
I got you. Fair enough. Next up, you had Ara, History Untold, if I've said that correctly. Looks like an RTS to me, Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something along those lines.
Yeah, I saw a football stadium though. I'm literally just skimming through the trailer now. So what is it, like a world builder? I
I think
guess.
it's something along the lines of like Civilization. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I did just see George Washington as well. So as one of the
Play.
characters, it looked like George
You could
Washington.
play as
Maybe
good
I was
old
wrong.
GW.
Oh no, it is George Washington. I was right.
Yeah.
I know my history. See, yeah, not into RTSs unfortunately, but Xbox are getting a few of them nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say.
I think, yeah, I think that is one market that Xbox probably, unspoken market that Xbox really like completely destroys the competition in. I don't think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
much competition on other platforms
Ubi
as far
got
as RTS go.
Arno, right? They got is it Arno?
Yeah,
Yeah, they got the Anno
There's a
series,
few
the
out there.
Settlers as well.
Yeah. Diablo Season of Blood. New Diablo season comes out October 17th. I'm so disappointed in myself when it comes to Diablo because I enjoyed everything up to that story and finished the story and then was like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
As
think
soon
you
as
have
I
to be
found
disappointed.
out there was the restart and I have to do a character over and over, I was like, I know that's what Diablo is. No disrespect to Diablo, I understand. Because I didn't know that, I was like, oh, I've lost interest in doing that all over again now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't like the way the leveling works in the game. For me to want to, at the moment at least, I'm still looking
Yeah.
forward to other seasons to see how they change it. But for
Yeah.
me at the moment, I'm not. It's not something I want to regrind every season. I'll regrind it whenever I'm in the mood to play Diablo, and I could see that happening in the future where I'm like, I just want an ARPG like this that I can just jump in and grind out for a week or two, and I'll play it and I'll play it like crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself like maybe this next season I'll be in the mood to play it, but the current season I haven't even thought about touching so far.
Yeah.
Same.
No,
I jumped into like Diablo early access, just wanted straight in. I think I got halfway through Act 2 and then just completely fell off. This does look like it's an interesting concept for the new season, like the vampiric powers and stuff like that. But I'm interested. Like, I'm curious how this works. So, with these like updates that are like season pass stuff, do you get the vampiric powers as part of the main story, like main game, or can you only access them if you pay for the season pass? Like, are they locking abilities behind season passes?
Probably.
That's a good question. I don't think so.
I'd be interested to know
But
if anyone
maybe.
knows. Let us know in the comments.
I think one of
Activision.
true.
True.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay, moving on.
I'm like trying to think of like, what can I say here? Nothing I can say. You're right.
Yeah.
Right
Not
now,
wrong.
that's all I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying right now. That's all I'm saying. Next up, Dustborn trailer come out. It looks like the same art style as Road 96, which I'm super excited about. From what I gathered from the trailer, I did see this trailer. Turn-based action, from what I could tell. I really like the look of it. I like the story, looks cool. The characters seem cool, and I really dig the art style. So I'm definitely in.
Fair.
Is this coming to Game Pass? Anyone though?
Nope.
The article doesn't say Game Pass.
Yeah.
I assume not.
Not
Okay.
listed for it.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Looks very good though. So if you haven't checked out the Dustborn trailer, definitely do so. Last two here before we end the show. Thank goodness you're here. This is coming to PC. It's coming to Xbox. Wait, what was this anyway? Just out of interest.
Like a weird, like something like Untitled Goose Game, but weirder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about as much as I can say.
That's fine.
Accurate.
And then last but not least, well, they ended the show on, I believe, if this is in the right order, Alan Wake 2. I haven't even seen this trailer yet. What is it? Is it a... Oh, okay. Crash is shaking his head. That's not a good thing.
I don't think it was a good showing to end the opening night live with personally. But I also I'm not super into Alan Wake, so take that opinion with a grain of salt.
I am exactly the opposite. I love this trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been like day one for me for Alan Wake 2. I'm there for it, and yeah, just this is the first time we've seen like gameplay from Alan Wake's side. Because for those who don't know, the game is split between two characters. So this is the first time. So obviously we've seen previously. I can never remember the name of the character, and I apologize.
Oh yeah, I don't know her name yet.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the first time we've seen Alan Wake's side. So yeah, but no, this seems to be leaning more into the horror aspect of the game, because they've said this is going to be like a full-on survival horror game rather than just like the psychological horror of previous one. But yeah, no, I love this. It feels like a amalgamation of everything that Remedy have done before. The way that they're combining video game like graphics and live action seamlessly, I think is really clever. You can see it on the trailer, but yeah, they basically they've got they filmed live action stuff with I think the voice actor as well. But yeah, it basically they combine it all together. It's really interesting, very weird. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. And like I said, I'm day one for this one. When this drops, I'm going to be there. And this,
well, that's what Alan Wake
excited.
is. Though. Alan Wake is a weird game.
Yeah,
like,
100%. Yeah.
The only thing that scares me about the entire Alan Wake series is the fact that I get to pick the story. I get to pick the order in which I play in. I'll be honest with you. That is the only thing. I'm still emotionally scarred from Resident Evil 6. I think I always will be. Anytime that games do this, it never seems to pan out for me. Ever. I always feel like that should be an optional thing, but you should tell me the order you want me to play this in. You should have like the sort of in like a director's, like, this is how I would do it, but yeah, we're gonna let you do it however you want, so I can just do it the way you want me to actually do it. But yeah, I'm super excited. Probably my most anticipated game for this comes out this year as well, right? Probably my most anticipated game for the rest of the year. Alan Wake. Damn, we eating this year, survival horror fans.
Oh yeah, just gaming fans were eating this year.
Yeah, I don't care about gaming fans though. You guys suck. That's it. That was Open Night Live. There was a couple of extra things that got announced. Baldur's Gate 3 is officially coming to Xbox finally. Phil Spencer had a talk with
Larian.
How do I say it? Larian, thank you. I was going to say Larian. Larian Studios, they have made some significant... I say significant. I'm sure the industry as a whole would say it's significant. I don't think this is going to really matter to too many people, but split screen will not be available on the Series S version of Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox at launch. It is something they're still trying to work out and fix, but this is how they've managed to get the game to run on Xbox still. Talk to me, Chris. You're an Xbox Series S user.
Yeah, I don't care. I've said this before. Split screen can go die in a ditch as far as I'm concerned. I think it causes a lot of problems for a lot of developers, and it's not worth the hassle if a developer doesn't see it to be fit. But whatever. That's not what my thing is about. So this technically means there's not console parity, correct?
Yes.
Didn't Phil Spencer come out like a day or two before this news that they're 100% on board with console parity and there's reasons for console parity?
Yes.
So these two things contradict each other to a degree.
Yes.
No, not to a degree. To be exact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious on that. I just wanted to like clarify that. I wanted to make sure I was seeing this the right way.
I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy. But Xbox playing fast and loose with what they do once again. They've lied to us before. They're lying again. I don't think it's a big deal as a whole because of what it is. Because it is split screen, I don't think it's a big deal. But they are lying.
I think this is the right call. I 100% think this is the right call. I think waiting to get split screen to work on the Series S doesn't make sense. But I also think, is this an exception just because of how big Baldur's Gate 3 is? Or are they going to keep this sort of semi-parity of like, you can keep the game coming out. The game has to come out on both platforms. But if you're having issues with certain modes or certain features, you cannot have them on the Series S. Is that what they're going to go do forward? Because like, I just want to understand it completely.
I think this is primarily because it's Baldur's Gate. This is one of the biggest games of the year. Some people might not like that kind of game, but this is legit. Like, it is the highest rated game of the year.
Yep.
Like, there's no way that you can if there's an arbitrary reason why it can't be released on your console at this point, get rid of that reason.
Yeah.
You cannot go forward without Baldur's Gate in your ecosystem.
I think the more to the point is, you can't let PlayStation get a one-up because of your limitations of releasing two consoles. is the important part here. And not only that, I hate to say it, but the people who spent the most money, you're going to let them down because they can't get it to work on is a lesser console. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Honestly, we all had feelings when the Series S was announced that stuff like this would happen. I think you're going to see more and more and more and more things like this, and Xbox are going to have to just come out and be like, look, sometimes this is going to happen. I don't get Phil Spencer coming out and saying things like console parity. I think it should be a case of console release parity.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's feature parity.
I really think the Series S is the sole reason that Xbox needs a mid-gen update at some point, even if it's for at least the Series S. I don't think we'll get it because I don't think Xbox is interested in that because they're going for the whole ecosystem push as opposed to a console push, and it completely makes sense on their point of view. But if I was an Xbox fan, I would be looking at it as like, even though it's eventually coming out to Xbox, that's cool and all. But the fact that it even had to get delayed as far as it's getting delayed, I don't think we have a release date for on Xbox yet.
Just this year.
We still don't even know when it's coming out. I think that's all big negatives for me personally as an Xbox fan. And if I was still mainly playing on my Series S, I would be pissed off right now, to be honest.
If this was your only console as well, like again, we're sitting here, all of us here, very privileged positions, right? But if you only invested in a Series S this year, and then you see, other people being able to play a game, feature complete, and you can't, you are gonna. I would be asking questions of Xbox like, "Yo, you sold me this thing saying that it was gonna be able to do everything else does, but at a less graphical fidelity. You lied. I hate to say it, you lied." Wait, so we'll leave it here for this week. Let's plug and get ourselves out of it. Before we do that, though, I'm going to quickly say the Ubisoft news about them owning the rights to Activision Blizzard's cloud stuff. We'll talk about next week. Hopefully, Matt's with us. We should have a full cast of people on the show. We'll talk about that next week and things like that. Gone a little bit long this week, so yes, don't think we forgot. We haven't. We'll just talk about it next week. Kresh, we got to plug this week, and thank God you're back, mate. I missed you.
My Xbox Me YouTube page, the Twitter page, the Spotify page. Go leave a review. You know what? You guys plug. I'm gonna check if there's any.
There ain't no reviews. Why you even?
You never know.
You look. We all know that you and your American friends, they don't respect you, Crash. They've been letting you down every single week. Me, on the other hand, I have no new reviews either. So my British friends have let me down as well. So thanks for nothing, guys. I really do appreciate it.
I have no friends, so yeah, no one to let down.
Well, we have some new reviews from New Zealand, I'm sure about it.
Japan keeps reviewing us like they're top.
We're five. We're a straight 5 on Japan.
Yes, 100%. This is one person who's from the UK who's moved over there and listens. Despawn, what you got to plug this week, dude?
My new job. I haven't really talked about it. Matt could talk about it more, probably. I am now working for Matt. I am a freelance editor.
Did you get the job?
I'm a freelance editor at Future.
Hey!
So go check out. We didn't talk about the Future Game Show, but my first video is out for them, a developer interview for Dome King Cabbage, which is a weird-looking game, but awesome. But yeah, so that's out. So yeah, go check them out. Go check out Future Game Show. Give Matt some love.
By the way, I swear I didn't even know that. Just so everyone's aware, I didn't even know that. Why is half the show that Future? No, I didn't even see it on Twitter. No.
Oh.
Wow.
So wait, did you quit your other job?
No, it's freelance, so just extra.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what? Let's go. Come on, one step closer. One step closer to the dream, baby. Let's go. Congrats, man. Congrats. I'm happy for you.
What are you plugging?
The YouTube channel, youtube.com/myxboxandme. I don't care about everyone else. Let me know what you want to see in terms of live streams from My Xbox and Me, and I will make them happen more. I think it helps a little bit more now. Despawn's obviously helping out a lot more with us. And he streams, I stream. We can convince Crash to stream. I really, really, really want to do a Baldur's Gate campaign of just us playing it. And maybe we do it's like 1 day a week is we set the day we do it each week, and then we just drop in who can make it that week. Because I think it's drop in, drop out, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like your character will just pick up from wherever we start all fresh characters and we just go with it. Is there enough? I haven't played it, so is there enough different decisions to be made that it isn't going to feel like the exact same for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
I
don't want. That's the one thing I'm worried about. It being boring for you guys.
No,
now.
no.
I plan on throughout the years. I don't know how long, but playing this game multiple times, 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then this set. Maybe we will talk later, and we'll set a day for next week for us to start, and then we'll go from there. And I don't know whether we should do it on Twitch or YouTube. I haven't got a clue.
Good luck next week. It's Starfield.
What's next week? Oh, maybe we wait until Starfield's done then. Maybe we wait for everyone to finish Starfield.
Finish.
Quote unquote.
2024. Gosh.
No, I don't mean finish in terms of like finish that hype of like playing it every single day for 12 hours a day is what I mean more. Because I'm sure me saying to you, yo, okay, whatever. I give up. Till next time, I will love you. Leave you. See you later. Password is links. Goodbye.